Hi, my name is Kayla Rose. I'm a transformational personal and professional development coach. I love what I do. I love getting to help people, and I love helping people see other people as priceless, just as they are, and helping leaders lead with a servant's heart. Most leaders think that the biggest things holding them back are external things like time, people, circumstances, resources. But the truth is, oftentimes it's internal things. It's barriers that are hidden and they're subtle and they quietly shape how we lead, how we communicate, and how we show up every single day, whether it be in our personal life or our professional life. Today, I want to expose 5 hidden barriers that keep leaders from stepping into that level of growth in their workplace, their family, and their purpose. So let's get into it. Um, Hidden barrier number one, unexamined identity patterns. Every leader leads from identity, not position. If a leader still sees themselves through old lenses, through insecurity, fear, past failure, or childhood patterns, they will lead from that place. And this shows up as overthinking, second guessing decisions, shrinking instead of stepping up, feeling unqualified even when they're called. Your identity sets the ceiling for your leadership. When you understand how God wired you, your strengths, your communication skills, your patterns, everything else is going to shift. I use disc profiling and meta profiling in my coaching, and that's really important to me. These tools are amazing because you don't only get to dig in yourself and understand like why you act the way you do, w- um, why you behave the way you do, and why you react the way you do, but you also start to understand others and understand how to approach people and how to react and just how to interact with them in a better way because you start to understand everybody has a different personality, everybody has different gifts and talents. And God created us that way for a reason. Because when we use all the gifts and talents, everything works better. And that's how leaders can delegate and not have everything on them. Hidden barrier number two, emotional avoidance. Many leaders avoid the very things that would set them free. Hard conversations, conflict, their own emotions, feedback, vulnerability. It's so important to be vulnerable. Oftentimes, people looking up to you as a leader, they believe that you've got it all right. Your life is perfect, that you never make mistakes. And that is the farthest from the truth. We all make mistakes, right? We're human. And so when we show people that we all make mistakes, it takes a lot to get there. We're going to make the mistakes. We're going to walk through tough times. We're going to have storms, but we praise in those storms. We overcome in those storms. We find new ways. We use our resources, we use our tools, and this is how we show others to overcome. And truly, it shows them like, I'm not always strong. There's moments of weakness I have too. And that's huge. Feedback. We fear feedback because we fear getting negative feedback. Nobody wants to be told negativity. I understand. Nobody wants to be told, but it gives us the opportunity to say, let's get a second look at this. Let's see what's going wrong, what's going right. Let's tweak some things and adjust some things. And now it gives you the opportunity to perfect. We're learning, we're growing. And so that's really huge. Accept feedback. It's not always negative. Oftentimes, feedback is to help you propel. Accept it. Stop avoiding your own emotions. We all have emotions. We're all human. Emotions are going to come. And that's okay. It's when we have the emotional intelligence to know how to handle those emotions, to know how to acknowledge and overcome those emotions. And that's where I teach breath work often because if you just take a few minutes whenever you're frustrated, anxiety, fear sneaks in and you just breathe in for 6, hold it for 4, and out for 6. And then start to speak some affirmations over yourself while you're doing it. I'm telling you, reframing right there. And that's huge. Miscommunication, tension, disconnection, and burnout are the 4 biggest areas that avoiding conflict, hard conversations, emotions, feedback, and vulnerability creates. So when we are avoiding these things, we are going to have miscommunications that lead into bigger situations. There's going to be tension because of the miscommunication. And then there's disconnect. People in the workplace are everywhere. This group's over here talking about this group. This group's over here talking about these leaders. We don't want that. And then leaders are burnt out because all of the separation and disconnect and miscommunication and tension in the workplace, everybody ends up getting burnt out. So when we all lead from a servant's heart, when we all have the hard conversations, when we all know how to properly come through conflict and, take each other's ideas and work together, imagine the environments we can create. Everyone wins. Hidden barrier number 3. Leadership isolation. Leaders often carry everything alone. They carry all the struggles by themselves. They put it all on their own shoulders. They don't delegate to others. And maybe you're struggling with trust there, but a lot of that goes to the above 2 things. Because when there's the disconnect and there's tension and miscommunication, it's hard to delegate and trust, right? And then we're overthinking and we're second guessing everything. So that makes it really hard. And then leaders don't ask for help. Leaders don't have a safe place to process anything. They don't have someone pouring into them. And it's so important. We cannot pour out of an empty cup. So we have to constantly be being poured into, also, guys. They don't have a community that understands the weight that they carry. And that's huge. We all need a community that understands the weight that we're carrying, where we can be vulnerable, where we can be honest, where we can have people praying with us. And isolation leads to exhaustion, decision fatigue, loss of clarity, and feeling unseen and unsupported. Every leader needs a space to be human, not just strong. Growth happens in community, mentorship, and accountability. And this is why a lot of leaders hire coaches, because then they have someone to sit with them and understand. They have someone that's guiding. They have someone to listen. They have someone to help them set those smart goals and hold them accountable, especially when hard conversations need to happen or we need to take a look at the big picture. We need to find the little things, pull those out. We need to set some small goals and some large goals, but now we need actionable steps to get there. Now we have someone to hold us accountable to ensure that we're doing those. And I mean, even Tony Robbins has like 7 coaches. Every single person needs that coach or mentor, especially if you're a leader, a CEO, HR department, because we need that outside look. We need someone to understand the weight that we're carrying on our shoulders also. So, hidden barrier number 4, undefined expectations and boundaries. And this is huge. And this is also where a coach comes in. Most leaders just assume that people should just know. You should just know what's on your shoulders. But unclear expectations create the frustration, the misalignment, the low morale, and a high turnover rate. A lot of companies have a really high turnover rate. People don't understand their expectations. People feel undervalued and unappreciated because leaders are not leading with a servant's heart, but it's really hard to lead with a servant's heart when you are frustrated, exhausted, burnout, drained, just trying to hold things together, carrying all the weight on your own shoulders. It's really hard and everything collides. Now there's just collision, literally, in the workplace. And that causes turnover because people are like, I don't want to go to work here. This is exhausting. This is draining. And they have things going on in their personal life too. So that's exhausting. That's draining. And then they come to work and it's more of this. And so let's create environments that people also take home with them. And then when they take it home with them, it goes out into the community and everyone wins. Healthy leadership requires clear communication systems, healthy boundaries, consistent expectations, and expectations change. As you grow as a company, as your business grows, expectations change. Action plans that everyone understands is important. Having those team meetings is important. Being able to sit in those team meetings and, just having the expectations becoming really clear, it creates a healthy culture and everyone is then happy. Hidden barrier number 5, internal resistance to growth. Growth requires us to let go. Growth requires us to unlearn some things. And that's tough. Sometimes we feel like everything we learned is the right way and nothing else is, but that's not true. We live in a consistently growing world. Look at technology, it's constantly growing, and sometimes we have to unlearn things. I can remember my grandmother, she worked in healthcare for years. She quit when everything turned to computers. She was like, I'm done. But imagine if every single person quit because technology grew. Imagine in healthcare when doctors learn a new technique, they just quit. There's new technology and they just quit. Can you imagine? We'd have no healthcare workers. That would be awful. So, you know, we have to quit resisting. We have to learn that sometimes we have to unlearn to grow. We have to carry and wear humility. Guys, humility is so important. Being humble enough to say, I screwed up. I made some mistakes. This wasn't perfect, but look, I'm gaining some skills and some new resources and tools. And now I'm putting these into this program. And this is going to be huge because this is how the company is going to propel forward and succeed. And that is 100% acceptable. There's times my clients don't see the moments I'm up until 3 o'clock in the morning on my computer doing everything I can to find results, to find success for them. It doesn't just come to me. I have to research too. And I have to go through like strengths and weaknesses of everything. But I do that because I love what I do. I love helping people. I love seeing people succeed. I love seeing people smile. I love seeing the breakthroughs and getting to see people just propel in everything that they are doing and lead with that servant's heart. It's just who I am and what I love. Sometimes we also have to carry that self awareness. As leaders, we have to be very self aware. There's moments I might say things and I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. But you know what? I also don't have a problem saying, you know what? I said this and that's not how I should have said it. And I'm really sorry for that. And so now I get the chance to make it better. And sometimes just acknowledging that we also make mistakes, apologizing and moving forward is huge. Having courage. Have courage. Be strong. Be courageous. Fear nothing because you are in the position you're in for a reason. God put you there and He has a plan for you and He's going to see your way through everything. You are going to hit trials, even if you're a leader, and you're going to overcome them. Just as you overcame every last event that got you there, you're going to overcome everything else that comes your way. Many leaders resist growth because it feels uncomfortable. It exposes weaknesses. It requires accountability and it demands change. But the next level of leadership always requires a new level of mindset. Renewing the mind, rewiring old patterns, stepping into purpose with intention. and leading from identity, not insecurities. If you're a leader who knows you're called to more, but you feel stuck, overwhelmed, unsure of your next step, I would love to support you. I offer a free 1 hour gifted session to everyone where we walk through your patterns, your goals. We will see what is happening right now, where you're at right now, where you would like to be, some of your strengths and weaknesses, your resources, your tools. And then we really walk you into that next level of growth. If we are a fit to work together, we're going to do that disc profiling and meta profiling. We're going to really dig deep into you. We're going to work on some NLP tools. As an NLP practitioner, I love implementing that especially when I'm helping leaders. Um, and anyone really, because anchoring and reframing our mind is the key to growth and moving to that next level. Leveling up requires that. If you go to www.faithpurposefreedom.com, you can click the link to schedule your free gifted session and go ahead and schedule that. We'll hop on the phone. We hop on Google Meets, but we will hop on there. We're going to connect. We're going to get to know each other a little bit. We're going to spend 60 minutes together, really delving deep into where you're at right now, where you're wanting to be. I'm going to ask you some questions. You're going to get some clarity through that, and we'll discover if it would be a fit for us to work together. Guys, thank you for watching, and remember, healthy leadership creates healthy teams, healthy families, and healthy communities. Everything you're doing in your workplace will extend into communities and propel your business, propel your team, and propel the communities that you're in. It all starts with you. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.